Anyway, good evening, everyone. So I hope you guys had your lunch, sorry, your dinner ready. So it's 7 p.m. now. Um, so yeah, thanks for coming to join us for this to listen to a student's perspective. So my name is Brian, and I'll be like a moderator for tonight. All right. So I'll just quickly run through with you all what's going to happen tonight. So tonight we're going to have four speakers. There'll be four of us who will be sharing with you our stories. So we have Eileen, we have Amal, we are final students, as well as Amal, who's doing a double degree, right? And then there'll be Jolie and myself. And afterwards, we will wrap it all up with Q&A questions. So if you guys have any questions throughout this session, please feel free to write inside the chat. I believe you guys can have a Q&A panel that you guys can write over there. Us and the admin staff will kind of also come and assist you. Okay, so yeah, without further ado, I'll pass the time to Ali, who is a final year chemical engineering student as well, and she will share with you her experiences in NUS. Ali,
Thank you.
yeah, I'll stop sharing.
Okay, I hope everyone can see. Okay. So hi, I'm Eileen. I actually came from Nanyang JC, and this is my 4th year in chemical engineering. Yeah, so today, thank you so much for joining us, and I'll be sharing my experience in chemical engineering. So before I start, this is the rough outline for me. I will start off with some general insights on chemical engineering, followed by my experience in exchange, residences, CCAs, and even internships. So for some general insights, there's a recommended course schedule that I will send later on. But I believe most of us would fall under either direct entry or polygraduate. And respectively, the course schedule that is recommended would be 4 years and 3 years. So for chemical engineering, please expect lots of math and physics. I would say that chemical engineering is not chemistry. We do handle a bit of elements for chemistry and biology, but chemistry is not the main focus here, as we mostly focus on material and energy flows instead. So there's definitely a strong emphasis on analytical thinking and problem solving skills. So for chemical engineering courses, we focus a lot of thinking out of the box. So it is indeed challenging, but I'm pretty sure that everyone will do great. And also there's a lot of opportunities to work in group projects. So many of us, all four of us, we have just done our final year project. So that was a very broad scope in terms of the project, but we managed to work in 7 people groups. And as such, there was a lot of delegation. So everyone has a very specific role to play. So teamwork is definitely very important here, not just for chemical engineering, but for any majors, I believe. Additionally, there's a lot of, it's important to engage in self-directed learning. So personally, I came from JC. I would say that in uni it is pretty different because now it's up to you to engage with your peers, with tutors or professors in order to gain some, if you have any conceptual knowledge that you're not very sure of, it's important to reach out to people in order to find out quicker. Yeah. So my exchange experience, I went to Finland in year 3, Sem 1. During that time, I managed to map 6 different courses. So effectively, they became pass-fail. So I think the best part about exchange was the fact that you could live away from home. You could, it's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And at the same time, you're studying in somewhere that is completely unfamiliar. It's really very interesting. And during that time, I also got to travel to different places, such as within Finland itself. I went to Poland, Estonia, Greece, and so on. So this, it was a really, very nice experience. And I would definitely recommend all of you to go if possible. Next, I also stayed in Utown residence for my first 2 years. Definitely convenience was amazing because most of my courses were conducted in Engine, which is 1 to 2 bus stops away. If not, it is in Utown itself. So imagine you just have to get changed, you go downstairs, and that is your lesson itself. So I would say the convenience was amazing. And additionally, we got to meet friends for supper, movie nights, or even to study together. So living with your friends in close proximity was a very cool experience for me. So personally, because I didn't stay in hall or residential college or houses, I would say that my CCAs were all non-residential. So in my first 2 years, I actually joined Chemical Engineering Student Society. So I managed to organize different events for people. It was more committee work. Also because I like to dance, so I joined 3 different dance CCAs during my whole university journey, and it was very fun. So if you guys are interested in dance, do feel free to try it out as well. I was in Blast, I was in Gestitute, as well as the Hoppers. Yeah. So for internships, I personally classified them as industrial attachment, IA, followed by semester and summer internships. So I believe that direct entry students would have IA to do. So meanwhile, for poly graduates, I'm not too sure if it's compulsory. Yeah, I think it's not compulsory for poly. Yeah. So because I was from JC, I had to complete my mandatory IA, which is actually 1 semester long of internship. And at the same time, there's also different types of, for example, you could also do part-time semester internships or even during the summer break as well. So I actually did my IA at Abbott for data analytics and project management. And then I also did data engineering for a summer break internship. So internships are definitely very important because people it's the best way to understand what you would like in the workforce. So it's very different from studying. It's always good to go out there and get some practical experience in order to find out what exactly you like and do not like, in terms of because right after uni you're gonna work. So it's definitely a good experience to conduct yourself in such experiences. And actually, that's about it for me. So I'll pass my time to Amal. Thank you so much.
Great, thanks a lot, Aileen. I guess it's my turn. Let me just share. Okay, can you all see my screen? Great, thank you so much. So yeah, welcome everyone to this sharing. And it's really great and heartening to see so many of you come along for this session. So I hope that whatever we say will be informative, and of course there'll be a Q&A session at the end. You guys can ask whatever you want to ask related to engineering or chemical engineering or NUS or university life in general. All right. Yeah, it's great to see a lot of budding chemical engineers, and hopefully you guys will join us for this coming semester. Okay, so enough about that. What about myself? So a bit of self-introduction. My name is Amal. I am a year 4 final year chemical engineering and business student. I'm currently enrolled in the double degree program. I still have 1 semester left, just to complete like 2 courses. But I will talk about that more later on. So I put in engineering first and foremost because of course you guys are here for a chemical engineering session, so I will focus on that. And also that's also my home faculty, right? More importantly, I'm also a continuous learner, so I really am a strong advocate for holistic learning and development, be it in your school or in your university life or in life in general. Okay, and I'll also elucidate that more in my slides. So I'm always curious and constantly seek knowledge, and I hope that some of my curiosity will impart to you guys, and you guys will share the same thing. All right. And also, I'm also an avid hobbyist, which is in line with what I just said earlier. I think it's important in terms of character development or just development in general to be, to discover yourself. And I think university is a great opportunity for you to understand more about yourself, discover what you like, what you don't like, in terms of academics, in terms of, personal, introspectiveness, right? You have to be, you always look to yourself. And also, the best way to do that is to do stuff that you might be comfortable or not comfortable with, right? In my case, I like to do a lot of things apart from academics, and you will see that in the future slides. Okay, so the reason why you guys are here for is, my degree program, and specifically chemical engineering. But let me talk a bit more about what I'm doing. So I'm in the double degree program. Maybe some of you guys have heard of it. Maybe some of you are even offered that or are looking to enter that. So my double degree program is in terms of chemical engineering and business, which is completely separate, and they don't exactly overlap a lot. In fact, there are only 2 courses that overlaps. So I'm literally doing double the courses every single semester, which is crazy, but it's fine. Okay, I trust. Okay, so why the double degree program? For me, it's very interesting. I always wanted to have a good foundation for myself in terms of hard skills, right? And I think engineering or anything STEM related is great for yourself in terms of learning. But more importantly, I think all of you guys want to get a job, right? So I think in terms of getting a job and all that, real technical hard skills are always compensated in the workforce, right? So in chemical engineering, it is definitely something that can give you such skills, right? And also develop strong analytical thinking. I think a lot of us will keep saying the same thing, develop strong analytical thinking. What does that actually mean, right? It means that, well, we solve real life problems, right? So I think I'm sure if you guys, Singapore system has a lot of, standardized tests, and you guys have a lot of, word problems and everything, be it, you're coming from GC or Poly. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm from GC. I forgot to add that. I'm from Victoria Junior College. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, but what we do is that we take that one step further. So we like to try to find solutions for actual real world problems which you see in the world, okay, chemically related, obviously, of course. Besides that, chemical engineering is also an interesting field because we like to innovate. It's a burgeoning field in terms of tech and sustainability. Of course, you always think about chemical engineering as, oh, petroleum, oil and gas kind of thing, right? Which is not wrong, it's absolutely true. But more of that, I think, is talking about sustainability as well, and renewables, that sort of thing, right? You can see why my slide is the theme is green, because I want to impart that actually a big part of chemical engineering is talking about sustainability as well, which is really, really important. Okay, and lastly, for engineering session, point of things is a multitude of career options, right? I think chemical engineering is one of the most valued skills or fields, courses in engineering. And a lot of us actually go to diverse fields in terms of career options, right? Not just chemical engineering or petroleum or that kind of things. It can be anything from finance to data. I think Aileen had a lot of experiences with data, and also pharmaceuticals, yada yada. Okay, so what about business side? I like to think that after having the technical skills, it's good to have a big picture point of things, right? So what is this big picture thing I'm talking about? More about, in every company that you go to, right, it's very important to have an understanding or an appreciation of the different functions and domains in the working world, right? And every day when you work for a company, what the company cares about is its bottom line, which is the profit and loss, right? If you're an engineer, you want to know, I would like to know, right, how my job, how I solve whatever problems I solve, solves the client's problems. At the end of the day, how it actually generates revenue for the company, and that's of course of utmost importance, right? So I think in the business school, they teach us a lot of these kind of things, especially soft skills training in terms of public speaking, working in groups. I think the buzzword nowadays in terms of corporate culture is cross-functional teams. Right? You always have to work with other people. You cannot solve a problem yourself. And I think the business school, they teach us a lot about that. Not to say that chemical engineering, you don't work in teams or whatever. I think Aileen was mentioned that we have a lot of group works, but business school is a bit more on steroids on that side. Yeah. And lastly, gives you a leadership and entrepreneurial mindset. I think with access to the business school, you also have a lot of other courses and resources in terms of entrepreneurship. Yeah. But enough of that. I'm here. You can always ask me more questions about double degree, not specifically in terms of chemical engineering business. Maybe there are a lot of other options that you can choose from the school, right? So just to end off this slide, we can see this thing on my left, my bottom left, right? Looks like a piano. It's not really a piano. It's not really a keyboard. It's a synthesizer, right? So what it does is that how a synthesizer works is that it synthesizes or generates synthesized sounds from digital analog waveforms, right? So for example, you can record a sound of a piano, and then it generates an alternate waveform, and then you create a synthesized noise, which is completely different from the original source, right? So how does this link to what I'm trying to tell you is that, right, my degree program is like a synthesizer, right? I come out with understanding and appreciation of business and big picture thinking, but I also have an actual skill, which is business engineering, and which gives me quantitative and technical skills that I can bring to the workforce and hopefully add value. Yeah. Okay, so more about chemical engineering because that is the core of the session. So First things first, I think all of us, all four of us will attest to how challenging it is, right? But more importantly is look at the latter part of the sentence, which is rewarding courses. Okay. So I think it's very important to understand that in university, nothing's going to be easy, right? No matter what. But it's very, very important for you to be, what you call it, comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? I think that's something that I can definitely attest to, not just about academics, but about life in university in general. Okay, so in terms of engineering, you'll be exposed to different aspects of chemical engineering in terms of your coursework and courses, right? What this does is that it's very interesting because in chemical engineering, we learn a lot of things that are, what you call it, adaptable or applicable to other sorts of engineering problem solving skills in life, which later I can try to enumerate. Okay, so coming from that, you have different kinds of courses, such as lab courses, the kind of things. Also merging theory and practice, right? You don't just learn whatever you learn in classroom, but you can actually see how it applies to the workplace in terms of the plants that we learn or the plants that we design, and also some of the chemistry that we learn inside the lab courses. Okay, besides that, it's not just about core courses in chemical engineering. We also learn a lot about CDE common courses, which means common courses that you take in the College of Design and Engineering, which will provide you with certain skills about design thinking, engineering. What I say here, it equips you with general tools to thrive as an engineer, no matter which is your specific field. And I think that is actually very, very useful. And lastly, right, high applicability, I think I mentioned this before. All these skills are really interesting and can really be applied to find new jobs from across the board, okay, like engineering, design, and even finance. All right. Yeah, okay, so let's move on. So what are some of these courses that I mentioned, right? So chemical engineering, for example, don't quote me on this because your syllabus will be obviously very different from mine. Maybe the course code is a bit different, but definitely whatever you learn will be around the same as of now. So for example, material balances, thermodynamics, heat transfer, and separation processes, right? Maybe these are all foreign words to you. It's fine, right? It doesn't matter. What you need to know is that things like thermodynamics or heat transfer, right? It's not just chemically related or chemical engineering related. A lot of engineering in terms of process design or even semiconductors, for example, also deal with this, right? Fluid mechanics as well, right? Of course, you have your general education as well. And then this is the one I was talking about earlier, which is the CDE common courses, which really builds your engineering toolkit. And a lot of things that I really appreciate or I really learned the most of actually came from this set of courses, right? For example, you learn design thinking in this design and make course, right? Again, if you guys have any specific questions, you can ask me or any of us in Q&A later on. And we also talk about materials engineering, right? Which is completely like not our field, but it is actually really, really intuitive and also very, very highly applicable in the world of engineering. And of course, if you have programming methodology, which equips you with some skills to become a data scientist or data engineer, and as well as things like engineering ethics, right? And after that, you have your electives, which is up to you. Okay, so for me, my electives is not applicable because I have a second degree, but I also have a minor, which is in the French language, which again, just I think I mentioned about my holistic education. So I like learning languages, so I just took it as a minor. So yeah, you do you, right, with whatever you want to learn in university. So life outside academics. So every week around engineering or chemical engineering, we will have certain activities happening every time. Honestly, there are a lot. I can't keep track of all of them, and I'm also very busy, so I never attend a lot of these. But you can always see different things going on. For example, like activities, like whatever this is, beer brewing workshop, for example, industry talks, okay, for those who are planning to go for internships or get a job, for example. They're always welfare like every 2 weeks, that kind of thing. And also projects that are organized by the Chemical Engineering Society. Yeah, so more about me. So I've changed the theme to a bit yellow now because it's more fun and less academic related. So as you can see here, I was also in hall, right? As I was also in residence for the first 2 years, and I tried all sorts of things, which are completely not what I'm used to. For example, I took up a sport. I even became captain of the touch rugby team, so that was fun, right? But I also play music. I play music for the NUS groups, a bunch of NUS groups, as you can see here. And also on the top right, this is my lab module lab course for chemical engineering, which we actually made alcohol, right? Not for consumption, of course, but for science purposes. Yeah. Okay, so people will always ask that if you have a double degree program, you're always very busy, you have a lot of courses, does this mean that you cannot go on exchange? It's wrong, right? Obviously here I went on exchange and I even went to the school that I actually really wanted to go. So this is EPFL, this is a research school in Lausanne, Switzerland. And I was the only chemical engineering student there because the courses I took were in French. And yeah, so that's not a lot of people went here. But I made a lot of friends, as you can see, and I did I think 7 courses, which is a lot. But I still managed to have a lot of fun and travel around. I took the French course in the lab course in chemical engineering, right? Which was interesting because I couldn't really understand what they were talking about. But no worries, the school is fine. The school is fine. The lab is fine. No one died. Nothing exploded. Everything is still okay. So I guess that's a good thing about it. Yeah. So rounding off, I think if you go around the School of Engineering or College of Design and Engineering, there are a lot of quotes that you can take out, right? For example, Elon Musk, whatever. And I really like this quote because it really attests to what I've been trying to say in this whole presentation, which is that you really can't do a lot of things without solving problems, without developing solutions. And that's what engineering is all about, right? So for the last example I'm going to give you, for example, if you take a chemist, right, they're always in the lab designing, trying to find the next new drug, that kind of thing, right? But what happens after that, right? So what happens after that? The end-to-end implementation really comes from the engineers, specifically chemical engineers, right? So what we do is we take the product to market, right? We try to scale that, we optimize the process. So think about it, it's a very interesting thing, right? And so yes, the chemists design the thing, but we also have to understand some of the science, some of the chemistry. But at the end of the day, we are the ones who save people's lives, really bring meaning to the world in terms of our products and in terms of our solutions that we give to the world. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
I'll now be sharing my slides. Hold on now. Can you guys see?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So I'll start now. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for taking your precious Friday evening off to attend this sharing. So I'm Jolie, and I'm here today to give you a sharing of my experience here in NUS Chemical Engineering. Okay, so firstly, allow me to introduce myself. I previously graduated from Singapore Polytechnic in 2021 with a diploma in chemical engineering. And now I'm a year 4 undergraduate in NUS, pursuing my degree in chemical engineering as well. Yeah, so in fact, I'm going to graduate this year. Yeah, so and then for CCA wise, I used to be in the Chemical Engineering Student Society, also known as CHES. So whereby I held the position of General Secretary, who is mainly in charge of the administrative side of CHES, such as keeping all the minutes and booking venues, settling the logistics for the CCA. And then also I provided guidance to some of the subcoms such as publicity, special projects, and also the FOP side. So here are some of the events organized by CHES. So we have our 31st annual general meeting in GM, and then we also have our mass bonding day. Then we also have our CIPs being done at the Willings Hut, and also the tree planting day in NUS. Yeah. So I was also involved in the fundraising of selling of lab coats and goggles for our cohort. Then besides, I also participated in the SOGL for FOP in 2022. And then also, CHES also organized welfare packs giveaway every semester, just like what Amma has shared earlier. Yeah, so before our finals, to boost all of our morals. Yeah, then besides, I also did my summer internship at ExxonMobil, whereby I was attached to the refinery section. So though summer internship is not compulsory, I took it to gain industrial experience and got to learn and apply critical thinking skills such as like monitoring, optimizing, and troubleshooting, which are important skill sets, especially for an engineer like us. Yeah, and then these are some of the courses that I've taken. So in NUS, our courses are structured in 3 categories. So firstly, we certainly have our core courses such as chemical engineering principles and practice part 1 and part 2, which are our lab modules. And then we also have our mass and energy balance, thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, heat transfer, and so on and so forth. So I believe that these courses are important, and also they look familiar, especially for those that have come from poly lah. Yeah, and then we also have to clear our common curriculum courses, which refers to the general education pillar, and then this includes the programming, critical writing, so on and so forth. And furthermore, we are also required to take up unrestricted electives, also known as UEs. So we can, in this pillar, we can take up any courses to fulfill our specialization, minor, or double major. So now, of course, must be wondering like if I have faced any challenges in university, especially being a student that comes with a poly background. So I think the answer is definitely yes. Yeah, because in fact, I would say the curriculum is pretty similar to poly, but since there's projects, lab, and core modules to cope with. Yeah, however, I think the main challenge that I faced was the very steep learning curve, as the content and difficulty level was like 10 times much harder as compared to poly. And then the schoolwork can get very, very hectic as well, especially with all the submissions date, as well as the examinations dates being like very close to each other. Yeah, and then besides, there are also like the bell curve that every student probably has to be worried about. Yeah, because it's very different back in SP. Yeah, so back then for my poly days, there wasn't anything called the bell curve course. Like as long as it's got like let's say 80 and above, then it's certainly A and above. But whereas in uni it's very different because it really depends on the cohort performance. Yeah, so that's why I do experience stress from time to time. Yeah. However, I would say like the professors in NUS are very friendly and approachable because they do offer a lot of consultations. And if you have any difficulties or doubts you have encountered in this in any courses that. And as well, I'm very blessed to get to know new friends in chemical engineering through chairs and project work because it's true that, and then I forged new friendships and they are my close friends ever since then. So that's why we have always like big like the same tutorial slots, go for lunch, study together. Yeah, so this kind of friendship is very, very, very important and helpful in especially in your university journey. Yeah, and also and if you graduated from poly, NUS also has an advancement placement credit and exemption scheme, which means that we get to be exempted up to 20 credits of UEs, and also we don't have to serve 1 semester of industrial attachment. Yeah, but of course you can take up some internship just to exempt more units, just like what I did. Yeah, so and these are all the reasons that why I chose NUS. So before I end off my sharing, I would like to share with you a piece of advice. So there will definitely be times whereby you will be worried or anxious about the outcome, whether is it academic, CCA, or just in life in general. Yeah, but I always believe that as long as you are doing your best, there is nothing to be guilty about. Yeah, so just enjoy and embrace the learning journey. Yeah, so with that, I've come to the end of my sharing. Yeah, so I hope to see you all in NUS. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Jolie, and the previous 2 speakers. So before I share my screen and share a little bit sharing, I just want to also just let you all know once again that if you guys have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A function to type it. We will answer these questions after my presentation. All right. Also, before you guys leave later, I would like to take a group picture because then I just like to remind if you guys can please turn on your camera to just participate and just take a shot. All right. All right. So now let me share my screen and talk about my story. So you guys have already heard the very technical parts of about chemical engineering, of school and stuff. I just want to give you all more of a fresh breeze of what you can expect. Okay, so let me just introduce myself once again. My name is Brian. So I'm a final chemical engineer like Jolie. I'm the same batch as Jolie. So I came from Singapore Poly. So these are just me when I was in Singapore Poly. I studied chemical engineering. So after my national service, I naturally just decided to come study chemical engineering again. There's a few reasons why. One of the biggest reasons is because NUS offered me a 1-year exemption program. I'm not so sure about the other other universities, other Singapore universities, but to me, that 1 year means a lot to me because as someone who has done national service for 2 years, I feel like I already at one step back, right? So completing in 3 years compared to 4 years is a very big deal. But for my dear poly friends, if you all think that 3 years can go exchange or not, I can tell you yes. So I basically managed to even squeeze in one student exchange in my 3 years, which means I was only in NUS for 2.5 years. We can think about it, it's doable, it's very manageable one. Okay, so just quickly share with you all a little bit about my background in NUS first. So my first year I stayed in Cambridge Hall, so I had a hall life experience, although it was slightly COVID period. Then next I decided to also stay in PGP or Prince George Park. So these are just some of my CCAs you can mention. So I'm actually part of the Design Engineering Student Ambassador. I'm part of the NUS Student Ambassador, Global Student Ambassador. Basically, I'm just handling all the ambassadorship stuff for the schools. I'm also part of the Chemical Engineering Society, which is CHES, which is where Lynn and Jolie they were from as well. So I was very lucky, very fortunate to be serving as the president the last year, which is along with side with Julie. So I also did other stuff like NUS ballroom, NUS golf, NUS dive, and a bit more different CCAs. So there are the CCAs that are within hall itself. There are also CCAs within for the NUS cohort. So just a little bit of share. So these are just some pictures, late night suppers, going to eat at 2, 3 a.m., going for hikes, food bonds people. So these are just some things that I hang out with my friends. So pictures going to the beach, we are having a bonding session, and I even has a chance to participate in some photo shoot by the school. So I think the key highlight that I want to share with you all is more of my exchange program. So as a poly student, actually it may be a little bit tough to map exchange within that 3 years. But honestly, if you plan it since year one, it's doable. So you guys have me as like as an example already. So I went to the University of Aberdeen, where I did my exchange, which is basically one semester is about five months. Then I extend, then I go and play, so it become like 6 months. So this is me when I was there. What I took the classes, so these are some of the courses that I took. I took mainly on chemical engineering. So I chose a university that is very strong in their chemical engineering. So the university I went was like top 3 in the entire of Scotland in chemical engineering. So I went there and actually did my studies. I cleared all these courses. If you're wondering if you are like if you really want to go on exchange and then you're wondering like, oh, would I be able to know what I can map when I was there? Yeah, don't worry, don't worry. The school has got you covered. There's generally a master list that we have of all the previous like seniors like myself have inputted inside. So what happens? They will share to you and show you that, oh, to go to this university, the seniors have done this before, so you may want to consider doing that. Or you can of course start fresh and start something, try to apply for it. Okay, so let me next. So during my exchange, okay, yeah, I just want to share with you all the different pictures lah. So I even went all the way to Amsterdam, right? I went Netherlands, I went Germany, I went to Scotland, I stayed in Scottish Counts, I even saw the Harry Potter bridge. So this is what I actually did during my exchange. I even went all the way to Iceland, where the beaches there are just black sand and icy cold. So imagine Singapore beach, but it's totally the inverse. I did different CCA there. You can see from the picture at the bottom, I actually went to have this I joined this CCA called Clay Pigeon Society. Basically, I just go down there, take shotgun, and then start shooting down like the clay disc. So these are just pictures of me when I was visiting Stonehenge in London and stuff. So I also want to share with you that I also did manage to squeeze in an internship during my summer holidays. So summer is generally a 3 months break where it's a 3 months holiday where it's generally the longer break when students will want to do internships for various reasons. One, of course, to build connection. Two, to be if you want to boost your cap, you can always take to help you with that. Or three is just to build connections or to be converted to a full-time career. With that, I just want to share with you all a little video of my internship journey. I hope that there isn't need for a sound because it's like a TikTok 1 minute video, but let me see if I'll just play and then you'll see if you can see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so just a short little 1 minute. Do you guys manage to see it? Oh, okay, great. Thanks for the notes on the video. Okay, so yeah, why I want to share all this video is because you all will imagine that, oh, now you study chemical engineering means you got to work in the Jurong Island, or you become an engineer. So to be frank, actually engineering give you a very diverse portfolio. So what happened was this company wanted to offer me this marketing like internship. Then I was like, you sure or not? You want to offer me a marketing internship? I'm a chemical engineer by training, and I do not know any marketing terms on it. But they say, yeah, they wanted an engineer because they want a chemical engineer specifically for this role because of the technical background and the way we solve problems. So you'll be surprised that, hey, as a chemical engineer, once you start right aboard, the internship opportunities, you could be doing something such as marketing, like what I did. You can be doing something more like computer science related, or just engineering related, bio and stuff like that as well. So sorry. With that, yeah, I just want to say thank you for listening to my short little sharing about my fun time in NUS. If you all want to have any questions, feel free to reach me on LinkedIn or via my student email. If not, then I have come to the end of my presentation and I'm handing back to the moderator, which is me. Okay, let me open my second deck of slides. Yeah, feel free to keep your questions coming in, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just write in chat. I will assist with the moderation and also help you guys out. All right. Okay, let's share screen. You guys can see this. Okay, this is just oh, actually it's more of I just want to share about the certain ground rules for the Q&A. Is that if you want to ask any questions live in a few minutes time, you just put the raise hand button and then I'll call you when I have the chance to hand it time to you. If not, if you're very shy and then you don't feel like speaking, you can always use the Q&A function. All right. Okay. So I'll just stop share. Sorry, I'll stop my screen so that you guys can see everyone. Here, I can see everyone as well. See how you guys are. Oh wow, yeah. I see there's a lot of questions coming in. Very good. Okay. Let me start with the first questions that one gentleman or anonymous actually asked. Hi, can I check with regards to internship for poly graduates? Since it's not compulsory, would you recommend to exam or do it since it's an easy grade, usually A? Okay. Since I talked so much already, I let Jolie answer this question. Jolie, do you want to take this question?
Okay, can. I think, yeah, internship is definitely not compulsory for poly graduates that. But I will still recommend you to go for internship experience. Okay, if you don't want to get the full semester internship, is also okay because there are also summer internship that can do it, which means it's like the 3 month type of internship duration lah. Yeah, and I would say it's still important for us to get some industrial experience because like what Ellen has shared during her presentation, it's good to know, good to gain this kind of it's not it's like a learning platform for you to discover whether you like this specific role, this specific job scope, whether engineering is suitable for you, whether you like this industry or not lah. So that's why it will be a good exposure, good opportunity for you to take it up lah. Yeah, and also since it's an easy grade, actually I don't think for summer internship, correct me if I'm wrong, okay. But I don't think summer internship is graded though. But
Jolie,
yes,
I can take the question. I can take the second
yeah.
part for you. Don't worry. Okay. Thanks, Jolie, for answer. So yes, I highly encourage you all to take some internship experience. as for if you're asking me whether is it easy A or not, I can share with you that like what Jolie mentioned, you can either choose to take on a graded internship or non-graded internship. Okay, and when you're talking about non-graded, basically means like you could be doing anything, and the school could still clock it under that you did some sort of internship, but it doesn't affect your cap or the GPA. Okay, it doesn't affect your GPA/cap. I forget the terminology that is the updated one. For me personally, is that I actually managed to make my summer internship a graded one. So when it comes to graded internship, there is two kinds. One is by the department, one is by at the CFG, which stands for Career Future Graduates Department. So Career Future Department as well, they will also give you credits worth for your internship. A slightly lower number of MCs, modular units, yeah, I guess it's slightly lesser, but you'll still be awarded. So if you want to take the school, the CDE or like the chemical engineering one, you're also able to do so even with the exemption. So you just tell the school that, hey, I want to extend 6 months maybe, and I want to do this, or I will do it during my holiday. So don't worry about it. Exemption is given to you from the very start once you come into school. As a poly graduate, it's given to you already. You can definitely opt out for it that and collect all the SUs, but it's given to you already, and it can be an additional top up. Yeah, so I wrap that up nicely. Okay. Next question. I was looking through. Okay. Yeah, I was looking through the recommended curriculum. I noticed final 2 semesters. There's a choice between a final dissertation. Final year design project and a final year dissertation. Can you briefly explain the main features of these two options? Okay, this one is I believe new. Sorry, Eileen and Amon, do you guys do you have this option?
No, we're same as you, but I can answer this question. I think I can. I'm a bit familiar with
Okay,
it.
yes,
Yeah,
please.
no worries. Yeah, thanks for that question. You are right. For the new syllabus, there's actually 2 options for final year projects. Do a design project or a dissertation. We do not have that choice, fortunately or unfortunately. We only had to do the final year design project, right? So I can speak more on the design project, but I am quite familiar with dissertation. I've read about it. So let me just tell you the main features. Design project is it's a huge thing, right? You're basically designing something. So what are you designing depends on your year, but more often than not, you'll be designing a chemical plant, right? So for our batch, we design an ammonia plant. So the professors will be doing in groups of 7, okay, which is a huge group, right? Because it's a really, the scope is quite big, right? And it's really very intricate and very detailed about what you're designing. So they'll give you some guidelines like what you're gonna be producing in terms of the chemicals that you're gonna be producing, what reactions should be inside the thing. But you're also given a lot of flexibility, which what kind of processes you're gonna use, what kind of reactors you use. Every single thing that you learn throughout your 4 years will be used in terms of how well you design the project, right? And at the end of the day, how well you design the project will be dependent on how much cost or profit that your plant brings, right? So that's the design project. Personal thoughts, very group based, right? So if you are very good at working together, you can delegate well, you have friends who can work together. Yes, why not do a design project? It's very intensive, right? Very work intensive. But the good thing is that you really apply everything that you've learned, and it gives you a better understanding of how the workforce, for example, like petrochemical companies, have their plants or make their plants, right? So that's one. Dissertation, we don't have that option, but it's good that the college or the school actually implements that new option for you guys. So it's definitely a choice. Dissertation is more individual based. I'm not sure again if it's group or individual for you guys, but it's definitely, even if it's a group, it'll be definitely a smaller.
Individual.
Oh, it's individual, yes, individual dissertation. So it's very research based. I think you can either have a research topic or do your own research, right? Actually, you don't have to worry about it so much because you will have some kind of understanding about or exposure to it. For example, your year 1 and year 2, you will have some lab work, right? So that is something like research, right? And it's really the same because you do your research work. Okay, I mean, in terms of your lab courses, and after that, you have your reports, and then at the end of the day, you have some kind of poster presentation, right? I think for dissertation, it's exactly the same thing, but the research topic will be determined by you, and you'll have your supervisor to really go through everything. So every single week or every single day of your dissertation, you'll be working on that research yourself. And so I recommend this to people who like working individually, or you have some kind of topic in mind, right? After you've gone through your chemical engineering modules or courses, and you think, oh yeah, I have something I want to dive deeper, and you think that you can do it in terms of lab work or some kind of research, right? And then you really want to present that to your supervisor, and you think that you have some kind of idea, please do it, right? But for those who don't really are research inclined, or maybe you guys don't really have a topic in mind, you just want to do something that's applicable, or what you call it, get your hands dirty for what chemical engineers do, I think the design project is more for you. Hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Thanks, Amal. Okay, so for this question, I just want to prepare up quickly because I personally did the dissertation, and Jolie, because me and Jolie are the new batch, and Jolie did the final year design project. In short, design and final project is a group work, while the dissertation is solo work. You are doing research. So if you are more inclined to do research, you might want to consider doing dissertation. If not, if you really want to apply what you learned for the past 4 years, probably going to a final year design project might be of your interest. But yes, you only choose one or the other. All right. Next, actually, Ili, I want to ask a question. So there's a question that asks, how do you feel about the common curriculum programs, especially the ones that are not related to chemical engineering? Do you feel that it elevates your learning experience?
Common curriculum.
Yep,
Okay,
curriculum
so-
stuff.
So actually, I believe our syllabus is quite different. But anyways, from what I understand, you guys have more CDE topics. For example, sustainable living, something like that. It's quite I mean, I didn't have the experience for that, but ultimately, I think Amal also shared some of the common courses that he took. So for example, programming, there's also material science and so on. So definitely the courses is a very good introductory kind of course. It does help with in terms of analytical thinking, as what we always mention. I would say that actually the computing course was quite interesting for me, which is actually why I took a minor in computer science subsequently. So all this kind of common curriculum can help you discover more of your interests. So maybe you can choose to do a minor or double major continuing on. So in year one, it was like a perfect time for you to explore in terms of courses that are not related to chemical engineering. Yeah. So yeah, personally, I feel like if you like it, you definitely like it. But if you don't, a lot of times the courses are usually level 1K. So you could actually SU in the worst case. So just take it as a learning experience. Everyone has to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Lee. Yeah, so common curriculum is basically to make your entire studies in engineering more holistic. So it involves like what she mentioned, like you do stuff like machine learning. I just finished my exam this morning. So you do stuff like Python, you learn how to Python, you do some sort of presentation modules, some sustainability modules and stuff like that. So it makes it encompass all the different engineering students to bring them together. So you get different point of view from the different students as well. So it actually do elevates your thing because you realize you don't want to just learn about thermodynamics and fluid mechanics. It's so it's more fun to study stuff outside of it. So okay, maybe Amal, I have this question. Hi, when do you think is the best time to do summer internships? Like which year uni is best?
Any year. Honestly, sorry, any year, year 2 and onwards, you can always do some internships. But maybe try to target based on what your level, right? So for example, if you're doing in year 2, don't try something that actually in your portal, you can actually see who they're asking for. I don't want to target it for year 4, year 3, year 2, year 1, right? So you can just base on that. But in terms of summer internships, the more the better, I guess. You can never have enough, so you can always just take whenever you want. Yeah, and I've actually friends who've done a lot of internships in year 1 as well, so it's really up to you.
Thank you. Yeah, so you can actually start doing summer interns as early as once you complete your first year. Generally, they do like, I mean, you always apply and try, it's good to have a taste of different industries and different like roles and scope. Okay, there are a few questions that I can just quickly speed run through because these are just yes, no questions. I just want to give you all a clear answer for those who have asked the open chat. All right. Can you share the courses which you have successfully met during STP? Yes. Generally, what happens is when the STP application opens, you can always just ask the STP coordinator for the different kind of mappings that seniors have done, like what I shared. So you just ask the coordinator about it. He or she will just let you know like, oh, these are what the seniors done, so you might want to consider these universities more. So that's the option. So yes, we do share. Second part, how long do you take to prepare the APC, the advanced placement credit, and how long do you need to prepare it? Okay, from my understanding, for engineering in NUS, we do not need to do an APC test. We do not need to do a test for it, unlike business students. Business students, you have to undergo an APC test even though you're from Polytechnic. So the nice thing about this is that as long as you're from a local diploma and it's from an accredited course, like let's say I study chemical engineering in SSP, Singapore Poly, and I'm studying in NUS likewise. So what happens is it's an immediate credit to me. So they will just exempt me for the certain classes that I need to take, as well as give me the exemption for an internship. So it will be reflected inside your academic script as well, that these are the exemptions that you got. So my understanding is there isn't a need for you to prepare anything, it's automatically awarded to you. So I honestly think it's a big bonus. So do consider that while you also accept the options. Okay. Next is I want to okay, maybe I'll pass to Jolie first. Jolie, can I ask you what is SU about? Does it affect your GPA?
Oh, sorry, I also don't know what it stands for lah. But then okay, so
Satisfactory and unsatisfactory.
yes. Okay, so
No worries.
sorry. Okay, so SU, right, means you can basically make the very specific course that you have taken to not be included into your results lah. Yeah, so for instance, right, like let's say you are taking this math module and then you did very, very badly. So the results you got like maybe it's like a C or B, which is obviously not what is up to your expectations. Yeah, and then because of like these results, like it will make your GPA drop. So that's why if you do want it to drop very drastically, then you may want to consider using SU. So it will not take into account for like this specific course that you want to SU lah. Yeah, but then there's like terms and conditions for you to apply SU. So you only can use SU on those courses that doesn't have any prerequisites. So mostly like those 1K modules. Yeah. And for example, like let's say our core mods, if you as the years goes by, right, then most of our courses like will require prerequisites. Like for example, you need like mass and transfer course in order to take the next course. So for like this next course that you're taking, you cannot use it for SU. Yeah, so I hope it answers your question.
Yep. Maybe just I want to add on to what Jolie also shared about SU. So the beauty about SU is that you are allowed to use these SU credits until the end of your academic year. So what that means is so I'm studying in semester 1, right? That allows me I could finish my semester 1 and semester 2, and then I look through my entire transcript and say that, oh, there's this grade that I don't like in semester 1. Let me SU that. All right. So that's how the SU works. You can SU up to a D grade, which is just a passing grade. Yes, that's a new change. Up to a D grade. So clearly, that what example is that in your first semester, you're taking 5 classes, correct? So you're taking 5 classes, and what happens is you studied very well for the first 4 subjects. You got an A plus, and then what happened is maybe one subject you didn't do so well, you got a B minus. So maybe that put your cap down to, let's say, I'm putting arbitrary numbers to a 4 out of 5. So what I'll do is I'll SU away the B away, and then now my new cap has become 5 out of 5, which is what we call it, or you can call it as like wow, very nice, it's like a perfect cap. GPA as per se. So that's how the SU works. But of course, SU has limitations. The idea of SU is to let you to be exposed to introductory modules. So generally level 1000, or we call it level 1K, or so there's 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K levels. So it's only generally for your level 1K or courses that doesn't have any prerequisite before that. Yeah. So that's the beauty of SU. I suggest that you guys should also learn more about the SU as you come into school, so that you can actively, know how to apply these techniques across your entire 3 or 4 years in NUS. Okay. I also saw that I missed out one question. I apologize, which is in CDE, okay, for CDE, SCP, do we look at pre or post GPA? I presume you're asking if we are looking at post SU GPAs. For my understanding is yes. But the system may change over the years. I'm not so certain. But likely if they will look at your post GPA or CAP results for the student exchange abroad. So for me, Eileen and Amal, we only went for student exchange program, SEP. But in NUS, we also got different other schemes, other kind of overseas abroad programs. You have the winter program, you got the summer exchange program. You also have a lot more various kind of like you're going overseas for cultural exchange and stuff like that. So not just SEP, but yeah, SEP is maybe something that we were sharing with you about. Does any one of my dear speakers would like to answer the questions between the difference between engineering in NUS and our fellow NTU question? Okay. I can quickly just give my thoughts on it. Primarily why I chose NUS over my other friend, all the other universities in all the other local universities, in fact, is because of one, I have the deferment of 1 year. So as a poly graduate, it's actually quite a lot lah, because I didn't want to study so much anymore. I'm really a bit of tired of studying, to put it that way. Second part actually, which is I think the more important. Okay, the second reason is of course I think prestige of the school is very important. Where you study in the future, your employees will look at, oh, you're from this school, you're from that school. So I think that matters, frankly. Thirdly, or the most important point is the SU system. So our SU system in NUS has been adjusted over the years to benefit students to the best as they can. So instead of just giving you a short time to SU after per semester, now they actually allow you the entire academic year. So that means you can see roughly where you stand in school as a student in the first year. Then you roughly like, oh, I know that I am an A minus student overall in my cohort. So if I have anything that's below A minus, let's say I want to SU. Or you know that, oh, generally I realize I am a B plus student, then anything below a B, I want to SU. So it actually gives you that kind of sensing and helps you to be able to maintain your CAP or your GPA better. Not only that, it also gives you the opportunity to actually play and try out more different classes. So let's say I took a course on what I took was philosophy. So I want to try something new, very interesting, philosophy and music and stuff like that. Thankfully I did well, so I kept my results. But if I didn't do well, I told myself, it's okay, I got SUs to use. I can clear my SUs. Right? So these are just like, let you to be exposed to let you try and figure out stuff out there. Do you guys have anything else to add, my dear speakers, regarding the differences? Yeah, so that's one of it lah. So I think the exemptions and as well as SU was what that take me over. Okay. I have a question that asking about halls, houses, and on-campus accommodations. Since you guys stay on hall before or campus before, you guys wanna share your thoughts?
Maybe I can go first. Very quick one. Yeah, for halls, generally it's quite difficult, I think, because a lot of people are applying for set number of vacancies. But it's good to have number one, any additional talents or hobbies you can add or contribute to the hall. Number two, it's good to know people. So if you know someone who is in it already or something, they can help you, give you a referral or recommendation. That would really help a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, from what I understand, halls have those camps like before you choose your your rankings for the halls. So you could definitely go through those to network and just meet people. Yeah. And meanwhile, other on-campus accommodation, I think in year one, you're guaranteed to get something. Yeah. Meanwhile, year two onwards, it would be perhaps by luck, or maybe your CCA commitments, your yeah. So from what I understand, if you're part of an exco for some CCAs, you could stay in Utown residence for year two onwards. But I'm not too sure if they still have that system. Yeah, it's somewhat like a master list kind of thing. Yeah. So I would say it's not the easiest to get, but there are definitely opportunities. Yeah.
All right, thank you, speakers and everyone here present tonight to listen to our little sharing in the Q&A. With that, I actually want to just wrap it up everything. I think we also exceeded time a little bit, so I'm just mindful about that. Okay, so thank you everyone. So we appreciate you coming, and yeah, you may take a leave now. I'll close up the Zoom now.